News Radio WGNS, Murfreesboro. The views and opinions on this show are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of WGNS, its management, other hosts, or advertisers.
All right, and we are on the air. How are you? Ed Raymer with you with the Edwin Lee Raymer Show, and we're glad you're with us because I've got two special ladies with me tonight. I've got Holly Anderson here. Holly, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you tonight?
Stay within about 2 inches of your microphone. And Laura Button. Hello, Laura.
It's past my bedtime.
It's past your bedtime. And they are with Rutherford County Action Council. Tell us, Holly, what y'all are with. Tell why you're here. And thank you both for doing this, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome. Tennessee Advocates for Planned Parenthood, we have several action councils across the state.
Right.
So we work together, and we're doing a grassroots volunteer organization to try to work with reproductive justice and everything that entails.
Okay.
It also works with Rutherford County Democratic Women.
Okay. Laura, now what is your role? What I mean, both of you are pretty well doing the same thing, or you have different capacities or whatever?
Yeah, well, I've been a resident of Rutherford County for 33 years.
Right.
And I've been active in the Democratic Party.
Right.
But I came to this particular issue via the Appalachian Trail.
Move in just a little closer, if you would. Thank you.
So I had walked the Appalachian Trail last year, and I was trying to pick up some materials for our Rutherford County Democrats. They were going to have a training session for this woman walking across the state. And I went down and picked up the materials, and I casually said to the woman, Julie Edwards, working at the TAP office, and I said, oh, God, that would be so cool to walk across the state. And then I grabbed the materials. I was in my car. 5 minutes later, I get a text message, hey, why don't you walk with Francie across the state? Then about 10 minutes later, Francie called me and said, you want to do this? I said, sure.
Are you talking about Francie Hunt?
Francie Hunt.
Right, who hopefully will be calling in here a little bit later.
She will. She's the executive director of Tennessee Advocates for Planned Parenthood.
Okay.
And we had not met until we started walking September 26th from Memphis. We walked 600 miles all the way across the state. We went through 24 counties, and we met Tennesseans all along the way, and we were frankly stunned that they were overwhelmingly pro-choice.
Sure. I think that's what you'll find. Most it's evident, and it was evident after the Alito decision in Kansas when you had a 60% voter turnout, and then later in the state of Ohio, which are both supposedly Republican strongholds, and they were up close to 60% as well. So, folks, that'll give you an idea of what we're going to be talking about, okay? But, Jackson, let's tip this thing off right now. Let's kick it off if we could. But for right now, my name is Edwin Lee Raymer, and yes, I'm still a private investigator. Welcome aboard.
This is the Edwin Lee Raymer Show with your host, Ed Raymer, on your good neighbor station, News Radio, WGNS Murfreesboro.
That is a little stiff upper lip for you from AC/DC. I can't hear myself, Jackson. Yeah, from AC/DC. This is the Edwin Lee Raymer Show, and I'm your host, Ed Raymer. This show is produced at the studios of WGNS AM 1450, 100.5, 101.9 FM, right here in the heart of the great volunteer state, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Now, you can reach us tonight, and these fine ladies, with your questions, comments, or thoughts at 615-893-1450. That's 615-893-1450. You can also send us a text to that message, to that number, a text message and Jackson will be glad to read it over the air, give it to me or one of the ladies, and we'll be glad to read it for you for those of you who do not wish to be heard live on air. And we certainly know there's some of you that might wish that. Now, you can also listen to us at News Radio WGNS on YouTube, okay? And we are up and running right now, and you can see us there, or you can just type in Edwin Lee Raymer Show on YouTube, and you might get it there, but more than likely you have to go to get the live version right now. All of our shows are there, and they're all on podcast at WGNSradio.com. All the shows I've done over more than 10 years now, they're there. And you can download the WGNS app. Take us with you wherever you go. Listen whenever you wish. And Angela Bingham was in earlier tonight. She's always on at 6 with Simplicity, doing a great job with that show. And always try and check her out because she's a fine lady doing some great things with that show. And she's been at it, I think, a little more than 5 years herself. And I want to tell you right now before we get started, if you're looking for a local family-owned heating and cooling company, I want to introduce you to Joe at Keep It Running Heating and Cooling. He's got over 12 years in the field, and Joe and his company, Keep It Running, are located right here in Rutherford County, Tennessee, right here in Murfreesboro. And they're fully licensed, insured, and bonded, and all that available 24/7 to help you and your family with all your heating and cooling needs. So if you're looking for a company you can trust, call Joe today at 615-962-2397. That's 615-962-2397. You can visit their website at keepitrunning.heatingandcooling.com. You can catch them on Facebook as well. Now, I want to start out with just a little something, not all of it. I picked up the paper. I knew these ladies were going to try, and Darlene Neal has helped set this up. Thank you, Darlene, for doing that. All of you, by the way, that are listening, I've talked to you on Facebook. Thank you very much. This was in the Monday, October 16th edition of Daily News Journal. And it is an article by Frank Gluck on behalf of the Nashville, Tennessee and USA Today Network. It's Tennessee near the bottom in helping struggling families. A new report from early childhood policy experts at Vanderbilt University finds that Tennessee is near the bottom of the nation when it comes to helping children and families thrive and escape poverty. Nearly 1 out of 4 low-income Tennessee women don't have health insurance. Almost 2 out of 10 are not receiving adequate prenatal care. And more than 1 out of 10 infants in Tennessee are born prematurely. The 2023 State Policy Roadmap Report does commend Tennessee's policies related to child care and poverty assistance, but it also notes state policy changes such as expanding Medicaid eligibility, which we've talked about right here on this broadcast, or significantly increasing the minimum wage would move the needle even more dramatically, something extremely unlikely to occur under the state's current Republican leadership. Ladies, welcome again. Thank you again for doing this. How do you feel about that article? Talk about it. Holly?
Well, I think that goes in a lot of our work. When we talk about reproductive justice, we talk about the right to have a child, the right to not have a child, the right to bring the child into the world, raise that child, be able to feed that child, health care, mental health care, having them safe in schools. It just all ties in.
Right. And it's complicated. It's very simple, but it can be a very complicated issue when politicians get involved.
It can be.
They make it very hard.
It seems like it shouldn't be that hard, but this is where we are. So.
Right. Okay. Laura, your comment?
Well, obviously we have concerns about children in our state, and we want, the thing about reproductive justice is we want the right to not be pregnant when it isn't going to be in the best interest of our family.
Right.
But also, we're protecting your right to be pregnant. And I think a lot of people miss that. And we just have to look at what are the circumstances and who is best able to make that choice.
Right.
Weren't you talking about the foster system? Like you talked to somebody?
Yeah, when Francie and I walked, we met Ann Austin. She's an attorney for a children's rights attorney, and she does a lot of foster care work. Mm-hmm. And currently there are approximately 2,000 children waiting for foster care.
Now, this
So
is
that's
just
not
here in Tennessee.
Yes, and so that's not children in foster care waiting to find a home. Those are waiting to get into foster care. So there's no place for them at all. And with this total ban on abortion, we're going to see a lot more of that. We're going to see those numbers escalate to, 6, 7, 8,000 children.
Well, what it says here too, in this article, toward the end of it, let's see who this lady was. One of the ladies that did the. I'm trying to get her name here. Bear with me, folks. I'll get it. But anyway, Miss Osborne, I believe, was her name. But what I can say is that in states that have near total bans on abortion, the birth rates in those states are increasing, and they're increasing among families who have the lowest level of resources. And so the problems that Tennessee is facing now will grow larger as more children are born to families that are struggling. I mean, it's just a simple fact of economics.
Yeah, the income
what it is.
disparity is another issue with that, because they talked about the minimum wage being as low as
right.
low as it
Yeah,
is,
the
and
minimum wage. What is minimum wage now? Did they ever raise it?
not for a long time. It's like $7.25. Is that right?
Is it $7.35? I think it was
I think
$7.35.
Amazon is
Yeah,
the minimum
$7.25, right?
wage at 15.
Yeah, but $7.25 is
yeah.
what their actual minimum wage, like
Right.
state level.
Huh.
That's what
Okay.
I thought.
That's
Of course, I used to wait tables, and it was $2.13,
sure.
and I think that's about
right.
the same.
That's about the same. Right. Yeah. Because you always get those people. My wife made me start making up for the people that didn't tip. So they always like to see us coming.
Yeah, we need it.
Good for
I'm
her.
telling you. Okay. Francie Hunt's going to be joining us by telephone here in just a few minutes. Jackson, let's go to our first series of breaks if we could, okay? And I've got two fine ladies here with me, Holly Anderson, Laura Buckner here, and Francie Hunt's going to be joining us with the Planned Parenthood Association. I'm Ed Raymer for the Ed and Lee Raymer Show. Jackson's on the board. We'll be back with you right after this. Stay with us. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. You know, if you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged to follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or aa.org.
Hey, this is Ed, everybody. Want to tell you about a sponsor of ours. We've got Complete Yard Care. Their slogan is, we do it all. Low maintenance landscape design, retaining walls, tree removal, stump grinding, lawns cut, mulching, landscaping. Now you can reach them at 615-785-0384. Or you can look them up on the web at CompleteYardCareTN.com. They have a 5-star ranking on Google. That's Complete Yard Care. We do it all.
Go to J. Mullins Jewelers and check out their collection of reactor watches. They're located at 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And also custom-made jewelry. If you want it, they can make it for you. Also gifts for any and all occasions. Weddings, graduations, family reunions, anniversaries, all of it. That's J. Mullins Jewelers, 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. All right, and we are back with Holly and Laura. Thank you again, both of you, for being here. Laura, you just Laura, you just mentioned something at the rest stops. that there are signs that are posted there. Tell us what you were just talking about.
Yeah, well, I drive back and forth along I-40 frequently,
Sure.
and stopping in the rest areas, I've noticed that there are these posters that say, please don't abandon your baby here. You know, go to a facility, police, fire. And it made me think, is this such a problem that they've got to put posters in the rest areas?
Right. Yeah.
And that makes me think, well, you know, abortion, medical abortion, 2 pills and a heavy period, and you're done. And why would we go to a point that's so extreme that a full-term baby is being abandoned?
I know.
And so what was that like for that mother to, have all that apprehension that whole time and then feel, I cannot do this?
Well, and the biggest thing, and I was talking to, I think it was Darlene earlier in the week, that, again, thank you, Darlene, if you're listening. I know you probably are, for helping set this up. I've heard this thing for years. Well, now, the Democrats are for abortion. No, let me straighten you out. No one is for abortion. But there are times that any doctor will tell you that's worth their own salt, will tell you that an abortion is at times a necessary medical procedure. Okay? And that's even being, as I understand, they're wanting to even do away with that, where you carry the baby full term, regardless of whether you can or can't. Holly, you got something?
They just recently even made an exception for ectopic pregnancies, because we had a full ban before
Right.
on abortions, and
Okay.
they finally decided that ectopic, which were not viable pregnancies, they could finally legally terminate those. That was just
Right.
recently.
Okay, just recently. Mm-hmm. Well, there's nothing like a bunch of men getting involved with the abortion law. I'm telling you, it's great. That's what we need, is more men involved in it. I'm going to go on and read from this article just another point here. Tennessee ranks 49th out of 50 U.S. states in the District of Columbia, with lawmakers' policy choices related to fostering economic security, early childhood development, and health. The report authors concluded, with regard to policies that promote greater economic security, this is an area that Tennessee can do a lot more of, said Cynthia Osborne, Executive Director of the Prenatal to 3 Policy Impact Center and Professor of Early Childhood Education and Policy at Vanderbilt. Osborne added that the state has made some really important strides in improving health care, but Osborne noted Medicaid expansion is one of the most effective policies that states can implement to not only improve access to health care for folks before they become pregnant or as soon as they become pregnant or following the child's birth, but it also improves the family's economic stability and reduces poverty. And the money, as we talked earlier before we came in, this money has been paid. It's taxpayer money. It's there.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, where is it?
That's a great question.
I mean, especially, and this may strike some of you, and I know I may get some calls on this or some mail. That's fine. I don't care. Don't get mad at the ladies. Get mad at me. I found out this week that we're going to be spending more on a new stadium in Nashville. The indoor stadium they're wanting to build for the Tennessee Titans. That's primarily who it's for. More public money will be pumped into that than any other stadium that's ever been built in the United States.
And that's
What
fine.
is this?
That's fine if we're taking care of our
We're taking care of
families and
people,
our
that's fine.
children and our
Yeah.
citizens. And then we're so fortunate that we can go build a stadium with all of our success.
But yeah, when we
Wonderful,
get
but-
a little farther
yeah.
up the list from 49, we can talk about that. Like
I
when we're
agree.
49th, then we
Yeah.
don't need to be putting our money there. We need to be taking care of.
Yeah,
the
and I don't know who
families and-
50 is, and I really don't want to know, but I sure feel for them.
But
You know.
here's the issue. These state representatives, they don't care about our children. They are pandering to lobbyists who
Right.
are actually writing these bills. They're disseminating the language. Our representatives are not even reading them. This is what we know. We know that they passed this total ban in hopes that Roe would fall and this would get implemented. They never even read it. They never read their own words. So
No, I hear that they don't read. No, they don't even know what they're looking at. It's just if it has to do with abortion, let's do it. Let's do away with it.
And this brings up a point. I mean, because like where we are right now in Rutherford County, in Tennessee in general, but in
Right.
Rutherford County,
Right.
it's like everyone thinks it's a red state, and it is quite a bit purple. We just don't know that because people are afraid to speak up for some of the stuff sometimes.
I'm go ahead. Don't
We're
get me
also-
started. No, go ahead.
Yeah,
please.
yeah. So I mean, we'll probably elaborate on that in a moment. But we have elections coming up next year. Like the midterms before, we had what 37% turnout.
Right.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, something like that. So it's like people just don't. I mean, they don't understand. I think some of the repercussions of some of that, or the importance of it. Like I door knocked for candidates,
right.
and there was one woman on. One of the questions you ask is, "What's the issue that informs your vote?" And she's like, "What's the point anymore?" And we've got so many people that are thinking that.
Well, we have
And
so many people that are not engaged. I have a good friend that ran for the first time for county commission, and he ran as a Democrat, and he went to the door, and I think he was in an apartment complex. I'm not sure wherever it was, and man comes to the door, and I said, "Well, I'm so and so. I'm running on Democrat ticket for this or this or this." Well, we vote Republicans. Okay. Well, who's your commissioner? Well, I don't know.
I barely
So-
knew what a commission or a county
Yeah.
commission was until
So
recently.
Have you ever? What's he or she done for you? Well, I don't know. He said, "Well, I'm here and I'm asking for your vote." And the fellow did pretty good. He didn't win, but it was the first time he's ever been run for public office. And my hat's off to him. And I think he's going to run again. We have callers. Caller, go ahead. Hello, caller.
Hey, Ed, it's Laura Bowling. How the heck are you, man?
Hey, Laura, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
I'm listening to these ladies talk about our legislators, and I just want to say, hey, we've got to change our legislators. That's really what it's going to come down to is us changing our legislators.
Right.
And that's what I'm going to be doing in 2024. I'm going to be running for 34 again.
34.
We'll have 34.
Are you against Tim Rudd?
That is against Tim Rudd, yes.
Right. Okay.
And the people of District 34 have had enough already, and we need to send different kinds of people to the State House because we need to have different kinds of conversations.
Well, I told you just what I don't know if you heard or not. I know you were on the phone, but there's this young man went to these people and he said, "I'm here. I'm running for office. Who is your commissioner?" Well, I don't know.
Exactly.
So, well, what's he or she done for you? Well, I don't know. They don't know who they are. They don't know their name. They don't know anything about them, and because it's just been a rubber stamp. It's just been, well, let's go in and let's just all vote Republican. Well, here's what you're getting, and it's the reason these two ladies are having to be here tonight. Okay. And I have told people over and over again, and Laura, I don't mean to get on the soapbox with you on the phone, but they keep electing these Republicans, and when you do this is what you're getting. I mean, it's not going to be long. I'm serious. You're going to see book burnings up here on the courthouse square, for God's sake. Laura, go ahead.
No, that's all right. No, I mean, I want to just echo what the ladies have been talking about. When we are leaving, you asked where that money for Medicaid expansion is. It's all in Washington. All our money's in Washington, or it's in states like Kentucky that have expanded Medicaid.
Right.
So
Andy Beshear, the governor up there, expanded it. Right.
Absolutely. So our tax dollars should come back to our state to help the people in our state.
Right.
But we have legislators that are even looking at ways to not accept the money for education that the federal government sends our state, trying to figure out how they can run the schools without that money. So we have elected officials who are trying to disengage from processes that will actually help our citizens. And, when you look at something like reproductive justice, we have got to change our legislators so that we can actually start helping people in the state of Tennessee instead of harming people in the state of Tennessee.
Exactly.
And Laura, that is because we believe in representative government, and you are going to represent your constituents and not pander to lobbyists. So that's the issue. They're specifically listening to the profit margins where they're going to get privatized education because somebody's going to make money. That isn't what the people want. That's what the lobbyists want.
Sure.
Right.
Well, and that's, I mean, I've said it before. People came here to Rutherford County because of our school system. We have some of the finest teachers. We had some of the finest teachers. Many of them today, I don't know if they're thinking they've made the right decision to teach or not because of the way things are going. And Laura is exactly right. It's time that these people pleasantly moved on, you know.
I agree.
And they can go become lobbyists, I guess. Okay. Laura, other than that, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm
Good.
doing great.
Good.
I really appreciate you guys taking my call. I appreciate Holly and Laura talking about this issue because we have to keep talking about this issue.
Right.
So that, I mean, philosophically, there aren't any apathetic voters. There just are people who haven't had conversations with yet. And we've got to have a lot of conversations with folks and ask them what is their big issue, what is scaring them the most, what keeps them up at night. And I guarantee you it is not some of the issues that our legislators are putting forth. It's kitchen table issues. And we have to have legislators that are thinking about those kitchen table issues because they have those same concerns.
That's right. That's right. Everybody's got to buy groceries. Everybody's got to eat. Get a good education for your children. You know,
Exactly.
and the list goes on and on. Laura, thank you. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Ed.
I'll be talking
Thank
to you. Okay?
Absolutely. Have a good night.
Thank you so much. Laura Boland, who's running for state representative in the 34th district here in the state of Tennessee. We have another caller on the line. All right, Jackson. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, hello. Go ahead. This is Ed.
Yes, hi. This is Francie Hunt, and I had the great honor of getting a chance to walk with Laura Button across the state. And, I know that next week we're going to be hosting in Murfreesboro the showing of Battleground State, which shows the Walk Across Tennessee, Walk for Our Lives, which was a protest and pilgrimage for abortion rights in Tennessee. And like what the earlier caller was talking about, I think what we're seeing in our government right now, and this is something that both Laura Button and I talked about when we met with people all across the state, is that it's no longer an issue between Democrats and Republicans. It really is a matter between, democracy and fascism. And one of the films that we're going to highlight during the documentary showing is one showing our role in the Tennessee Three.
Right.
So I'm excited about that. But, I guess I just wanted to, raise that point and make sure folks know that this is an opportunity for them to learn more about what's happening after the fall of Roe and how this connects to some of the larger authoritarianism and theocratic reign that we've been seeing here in Tennessee.
That's exactly right. Now, Francie, tell us who you are and what you do. I know you're with Planned Parenthood in what capacity?
I'm Francie Hunt, and I'm the executive director for Tennessee Advocates for Planned Parenthood, and I'm the advocacy and organizing director for Planned Parenthood of Tennessee and North Mississippi, and those are two Planned Parenthood organizations in the state. Planned Parenthood of Tennessee and North Mississippi is our health center nonprofit, and then Tennessee Advocates for Planned Parenthood is our advocacy and political arm for Planned Parenthood in the state.
Now, let me ask you, what does because we've heard we hear a lot of chit-chat back and forth from the Republicans, okay? And what do you folks do? what is your function?
We're doing what we've been doing for the last 100 years, which is provide reproductive and sexual health care. And, we've been providing that care even before Roe was around, while Roe was around, and we'll continue to do it now that Roe has fallen. We provide, well woman visits, family planning visits. We do sexually transmitted infection testing and treatment.
Right.
We provide gender-affirming care. We used to provide abortions. We provide sex education in communities. And we also provide a lot of advocacy and education around how government works.
Okay. So you did provide abortions?
We did.
Okay. Now, what is the status on the abortion issue right now? Tell our listeners so they'll know.
Well, last year, under the, cover of night, folks may not remember this, but it was like a couple years ago when COVID was at an all-time high. It was, like during the year when, George Floyd, was murdered.
Right.
They held a vote in the middle of the night that ended up banning abortion, and it
Sure.
didn't. And we ended up not having it go into effect until Roe fell. That was through a trigger ban, which meant that once Roe fell, abortion was going to become illegal in this state. And so since then, since last year, thousands of folks have either been forced to give birth or they've had to flee the state for care. And so if folks, need counseling or whatever, they can always come to Planned Parenthood. We do have a patient navigator as well that can help direct folks out of state and also connect them with, funding to help pay for transportation or care as they need it. But that's been the bulk of our work on the healthcare side of things, is making sure that, we could do all that we can to prevent undetected pregnancies, making sure that we just keep people healthy generally. But now that abortion is no longer legal in Tennessee, regardless of, rape or incest or even dangerous things that may happen to that pregnant person, we're, making sure that we can direct folks to where they can get care as needed.
Now, let me ask you this. How can people, let's say we have a young lady out here that needs just basic information. What is the best way to get hold of you folks?
You could just Google Planned Parenthood of Tennessee and North Mississippi, and you can find us. They could also go to abortionfinder.org, and they could put their, zip code in there, and they'll find you the closest place that you can go to.
Abortionfinder.org.
Mm-hmm. Or they could just, Google Planned Parenthood, call any one of us, and we'll direct you to like a patient navigator that can help you. And our patient navigator is a licensed social worker, and they're very equipped to be able to help patients get the resources that they need.
In this area here, what number would they call?
Oof. All right, off the top of my head here, I'm going to have to see your phone while I look.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I don't know that off the top of my head. But they could just go to pptnm.org, and they should be able to find it.
PP what now?
PPTNM, that's Planned Parenthood of Tennessee and North Mississippi. And the phone number that they can call, the toll-free number is 866-711-1717. That's 866-711-1717, and that will be able to direct folks to where they need to go.
Okay. And undoubtedly the website, what do you got, a Planned Parenthood website?
Yeah, it's PP as in Planned Parenthood, TN as in Tennessee, and M, Mississippi, pptnm.org.
Got it. Okay.
And it's interesting because our state representatives and the lobbyists that they're representing actually want to criminalize this very conversation of,
Sure they do.
of giving
I
information
was thinking
to get
that.
out
Sure
of
they
state.
do. Yeah, I hope they're listening tonight. Yeah.
Right, Francie?
No, I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, Francie, we
Yeah.
want to thank you for calling in. First of all, thank you very much for taking time to do this, because there's so much You know, we're entering the thing now, the artificial intelligence, and there's so much stuff that's going to be out there in this campaign that's coming up, and I dread to see what they're going to dredge up or put together. Let me say, just construct or put together on some candidates. You know, and it's going to happen. We know that. So that's the reason I want people to get the full truth straight from the horse's mouth. Someone like you, where we can go to they can go to a website, call a toll-free number, because there are people that just don't know.
I love that you bring up AI for a couple reasons, because this is something that Laura and I talked about when we, walked all the way from Memphis to Johnson
Yeah,
City.
she said she had to drag you. She said she had to drag you all across the state. Said you was a real.
She sure did. She was great.
She did not. I'm not.
Laura's
She's
like,
giving me a bad eye. I'm just
great.
lying. No, I'm kidding you.
But we talked about AI and technology because we're on an epochal change, a shift in where our culture and society is headed because of this advanced technology for a couple reasons. One is, all of the experts are talking about how 2024 is going to be the last human election. I mean, we only know what information that we're given.
Right.
Everything's
Yeah.
really a construct. So when AI and the things that you get to know about are only determined by an algorithm, that's going to be very dangerous. So that's one aspect of where it's really important for us as voters and as community members to be very aware and in relationship with one another so we can get that trusted information. But the other piece as it relates to bodily autonomy is that our bodies themselves are a way of knowing. Like our sensory field is a way that we perceive the world. And when we hand over that bodily autonomy to the government, when we
Right.
allow the government to have more of a say over our bodies than we do, which is exactly what Roe,
Oh yeah.
what happened with the fall of Roe.
Exactly.
This is where, the abortion thing is so much more than abortion. It is about the sovereignty over our own lives and our own bodies. And so, I think that it's very connected to where we're headed with a new, I guess the shifting towards technology and AI is going to be a huge deal for us. And so, I'm glad that you mentioned that.
Well, it is, because 60 Minutes did a thing on it. I believe it was last week, and it's already in places where you really don't realize it. And of course, this was a big thing. It's still a big thing in Hollywood with the writer's strike that was out there, and part of what they're doing with the movie making process, motion pictures. But if some of these nuts can get hold of this, and they already have,
Right.
they will use it to their advantage to any way they can possibly do it. And
Absolutely.
and this is what I want. I'm going to call the abortion. I'm going to call Planned Parenthood. Here's a number somebody gave me. No, here's the toll-free number. Okay, here it is. And if you're not careful, they'll be calling people that aren't even part of Planned Parenthood. That's what I'm afraid of. You know.
We've got that pregnancy center in Murfreesboro that's kind of like a fake thing. Where
What do they do?
Is it
I didn't know
Portico or
about
something like
that.
that? Well, it's like called a pregnancy center, and it was like making people think that they were helping them with actual care,
Right.
but they
yeah.
were actually pushing people against having abortions and
I
such
see
like
what you're
that.
saying. Yeah.
I'm not real familiar with their ins and outs, but yeah, that's
Yes, the crisis pregnancy centers are fake abortion clinics. They're basically anti-abortion centers. So rather than being what a true medical professional would give you all of the different options and allow you as a patient to make your own discernment over what's best for you,
Right.
these are places that coerce you into their particular view of what's right for your life.
But Francie, that's what I'm talking about. The title of these places alone. What'd you say it was?
crisis pregnancy center.
Crisis pregnancy. It's crisis. You need to give us a call. I mean, it's
Marketing, but
scaring you to death to get you, to just basically just walk in the door,
Yeah.
And from there
I
they'll
call them
take.
anti-abortion centers because it's like, they're trying to coerce you into a certain position. Now, when you come to Planned Parenthood, we're not coercing anybody to have an abortion or not have an abortion. It really is up to that patient. We
Right.
provide non-judgmental care, and that's our value.
Right.
You know.
But let me ask you something. Being a man, can I still obtain a vasectomy? Is that legal?
Yes, we just started vasectomy procedures, actually. I failed to mention that earlier.
Is that illegal?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, well, that's what. But I can get Can you get me a prescription for Viagra?
I'm sure they could.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm saying, I'm not doing it to be funny. I'm telling people how crazy this thing has gotten. And I asked this same question. This is back. How long ago was it, Francie, that the Alito passed the Roe thing or did away with it? Was it a year and a half?
That was only, 2021?
21.
Right? No.
Yeah. And,
yeah, it was.
And, I mean, then when women said, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on? And there were ladies that did not know what was going on. They all of a sudden, hey, buddy, they started keeping up, you know. And I said, where in the world y'all been? You know, they've been talking about this for 50 years. And I said, made that very statement, you know, well, I can still, no one said anything to me about getting a vasectomy or whatever, which I've not had one, by the way. But, and this young lady said, I just thought you'd want to know. And
Thank you, Ed.
that's no problem.
Made a note.
And, no, good. And but she said, "Oh, Ed, you're not going to have to worry about that." And I said, "Why is that?" She said, "Because you're a white American male, so nobody's ever going to bother you."
Right.
And it's so, I got to tell you, Francie, it sort of embarrassed me. It really did.
It's interesting. Francie and I met with a group of affluent white women in Franklin, Tennessee during our walk. It was wonderful. They had a great
Right.
reception for us. They were stunned. They didn't believe Roe could ever be overturned. They wanted to know, how do we put it back? And Francie just looked at him and said, that's a done deal.
Right.
You know.
Unfortunately, you're right. And Francie, what is being done on a government level? Because I know some of the legislatures have talked about possibly passing a law. Do you know where we stand at this point?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of efforts at the national level. I will say
Right.
this. If we lose the presidency in 2024, we will see a national ban on abortion. So I just want to put that
Sure.
out there, that our side
Right.
has to fight like hell to make sure that we win the presidency.
Exactly. Yeah, they put
but I
goofball
think-
back in. Yeah, I know.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so that's
Well,
like,
that's what he is.
fire alarm number one. But then, I know that there's different states are taking on ballot initiatives to protect it at the state level. There's been talk about like doing some sort of constitutional protection at the federal level. Here within our state, we've got a much longer haul because we don't have that ballot initiative option really. There is one, but we'd have to win over the legislature like 3 times in order for us to have that even be
Sure.
an option. And
Right.
because we're in a super minority, it makes it, nearly impossible for that. So the best thing that we can do towards, winning back our freedoms is whittling away at that supermajority and making sure that we can get more seats within the House of Representatives. And, next year there's going to be a huge opportunity to win it for Gloria Johnson for U.S. Senate, beating Marsha Blackburn, like heaven help us all.
Marsha. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Gloria will be able to help, ignite a fire of our base. We're really, I think she's well loved and people are really excited for her. So I think those are the things that we really need to be focusing on.
I think you're exactly right. And they did a favor for the Tennessee Three because they made national heroes out of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and they are national heroes.
right. I mean, and the way they had done Gloria, I was telling these ladies before, putting her in a closet for an office down there.
Yeah.
It's just
shameful.
It's downright just shameful. It's rude.
And
It's
they publicized it.
Oh,
They
yes,
did all
yes.
that. So I had never watched one
So-
of those, but I watched
I know.
the whole session
Right.
during that. And it's like a lot of people didn't. It's like, so you want us to see how horrible and racist and misogynistic you
I'm
really
glad they
are?
did. I want to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so that made us
Yeah.
watch.
Sure. And the more they do of that, the better it'll get for us. Maybe and seriously, our young people and all of them, all the ladies especially, wake up to what's going on, ladies. Wake up, please. Please.
Yeah.
You know. And, you know, quit voting like my granddaddy voted Republican. Well, that's just wonderful, and that's great and good, and I'm so glad he did when Noah unloaded the boat. That's wonderful. But times have changed, you know.
Yeah.
And they're
That's
still
true.
changing. Francie, I'm going to have to let you go. Anything else right now?
I'll say it now, and I'm sure Holly and Laura will also say it towards the end of your show, but I hope to see everybody on the 26th for the showing of Battleground State, so everybody could see the documentary about Walk for Our Lives in the Tennessee 3. So we can talk in person then.
Francie, I look forward to having you here and having you on air live sometime. Where are you at? Are you in Nashville or?
I'm in Nashville, but I'm all over.
Okay.
All over Tennessee, yeah.
She gets around.
As she gets around.
Clearly, she went all the way around the state.
Went all over the state, yeah.
She'll probably drive this time though.
Yeah, but Laura said she drug you every step of the way. She couldn't get you out of bed or anything.
I couldn't have done it without Laura. Make a note of that. Laura was the engine. For sure.
Francie Hunt with Planned Parenthood. Francie, thank you very much. Thank you. All right, bye-bye. Okay. We're going to go to our last series of breaks, and I want to tell you about one of my sponsors here. It's Keep It Running Heat and Air, and if your family's looking for a locally owned heating and cooling company, call Joe at Keep It Running Heating and Air. He's got over 12 years experience in the field, and his company Keep It Running are located right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and they're fully licensed, insured, bonded, and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to help you with all your heating and cooling needs. So if you're looking for a company you can trust, give Joe a call today at 615-962-2397. That's 615-962-2397, or you can visit his website at keepitrunning.heatingandcooling.com, and you can also check him out on Facebook. Back with you right after this. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. You know, if you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged to follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219, or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or aa.org.
Hey, this is Ed, everybody. Want to tell you about a sponsor of ours. We've got Complete Yard Care. Their slogan is, "We do it all." Low maintenance landscape design, retaining walls, tree removal, stump grinding, lawns cut, mulching, landscaping. Now you can reach them at 615-785-0384. Or you can look them up on the web at CompleteYardCareTN.com. They have a 5-star ranking on Google. That's Complete Yard Care. We do it all.
Go to J. Mullins Jewelers and check out their collection of reactor watches. They're located at 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And also custom-made jewelry. If you want it, they can make it for you. Also gifts for any and all occasions. Weddings, graduations, family reunions, anniversaries, all of it. That's J. Mullins Jewelers, 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. All right, and we are back, and we've got a couple of calls on the line, but we want to talk about why these two ladies are here tonight, why Laura and Holly are here. Tell us what's going on. Now, Holly, you said this is Thursday?
Yes, it's Thursday at the Lineball Library. We have we have a couple of documentaries.
Okay.
Let me see. Well, actually, I'm going to throw it to you. Go ahead and talk about the documentaries,
sure.
because she was
So-
actually in one of them, but we're going to be doing that 6 o'clock Line Bell Library.
Right.
Okay.
This Thursday, the 26th, it's a set of 2 documentaries, which really are the Crusade for Progress that that is a statewide initiative. And the first film is about half an hour long, and it's it's a chronology of the walk that Francie and I started
Right.
last year.
Walk across the state of Tennessee.
We
Right.
walked from Memphis to Johnson City. It took
Okay.
us about 6.5 weeks, and we met Tennesseans all along the way, and we
Sure.
talked to them about their views on abortion. We were surprised that they were overwhelmingly for a woman's right to choose.
Right.
And the issue we found, and this is the big challenge right now, is a lot of Republicans believe that a pregnant person has a right, but that gets washed under the 2A rights and
Sure.
all the other
Right.
reasons
Yeah.
they may be down ballot voting Republican.
Right.
So I mean, it's not that we're not going to be able to line item our voting,
Right.
but
Sure.
I think people need to understand that that value is not being addressed.
Sure.
And I think that's a good segue, since we have House representatives that are being voted for next year. And we have
Yes.
some other things, city council, school board.
School board,
We heard from Laura
county-
Bowling.
county
She's running for,
commissioners, all of
we
them.
need more candidates. And
Right.
we're also under the umbrella of RUCO Dem Women, or Rutherford County Dem Women. So
Sure.
if people want to get involved with that, also we need volunteers.
Sure.
Like you said, it takes money, but we're going to have to grassroots what we can right
Sure.
now. We're going to have to
Sure.
do what we have to, and we need people. We need people voting. We need people volunteering,
Good deal.
and we can teach how to do that. There's all kinds of ways to do that. But you can contact rucodemwomen.org. There's also hello@rucodemwomen.org. If you're interested in volunteering, being a candidate, or anything like that.
Sure.
And hopefully we'll see you next Thursday, 6 o'clock at Line Bell Library, so we can do
This
the
coming
documentary. show.
Thursday, 6
Yes.
o'clock at Lamo Library, no charge.
It's free. We'll even have
Free.
snacks. Got
I
charcuteries
might
and
even-
mocktails.
Well, you might even get me
popcorn
to show up
and a
there. I didn't know
movie.
he's going to have snacks. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have snacks.
All right.
I should have opened with that. So sorry. I don't know what I was thinking about.
The second
Okay.
documentary showcases what happened with the Tennessee 3 and gun control issues.
Yeah.
So and that one's only about I think 20 minutes. So
Right.
there's 2
Okay, so you're not
very
gonna be
short
there
films.
all night long, right?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. Very good. We've got a couple of calls on the line. Caller, thank you all for being patient. And Jackson, go ahead. Caller, you're on the line. Go ahead. Go on the air. Go ahead. Hello. Hello, caller. Are you there?
Yeah, I just want to say, enjoy the show tonight, but I was going to tell you, I'm sure you saw the lawsuit for the ACL, the city of Murray for the ACLU and the Tennessee Equality Party about the anti-gay. The judge blocked it. They can't have the anti-gay ordinance. They're going to have the Borough Pride this Saturday at Mill Coliseum over there on the
Right. Made the front page of the paper. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Basically, you said they had no chance, and basically they did, and so basically they're going to have their thing this weekend, which is basically the same type deal. But I agree, people need to get out. People need to get out, educate yourself, and need to get out and vote next year in the election. Have more people turn out, or Republicans want less turnout. The Democrats want more. That's my opinion. But I'll hang on. Listen, guys, great show tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. We appreciate you. Jeff Neal, big supporter of this broadcast, a supporter of this show, and I appreciate him. I use him. We have another call. Caller, please go ahead. You're on the air live. Go ahead.
Hey there, this is Hope Oliver.
Well, hello, Hope Oliver. What have you got going on? I hear you're in trouble again.
Am I in trouble again? I was calling to thank the ladies for their advocacy and such a robust conversation tonight. I really enjoyed listening, and we definitely have to get more people informed so they can get involved. So I really enjoyed the show tonight.
Yeah. Now you've got something coming up. You're going to be. What do you got an honorary? Something happened with you? What's going on here?
NAACP Woman of the Year. Yes.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Recognized. So I'm really excited about that. And the gala will be Saturday, October 28th at 7 p.m. at the Smyrna Town Center. So, yeah, I'm really surprised, but truly honored to be recognized.
Right. I think Carolyn Cox has done already. She's already grabbed me by the elbow about that already, so I guess I'm supposed to be there. Are we going to eat?
Yeah.
What are we having? Do you know yet?
I don't know.
Mystery food. Okay. Well, that's all good. How are things in your neck of the woods with your district? How are you doing?
Well, in my district, we just had 2 of our officers shot yesterday.
How are they?
They are well. They are healing. They are released from the hospital, and so we're just thankful that they're okay.
Did they find the person that did it?
They have not.
They have not.
The person is on the most wanted list, so they're still looking
I don't
for
doubt
the
that.
person that
Okay.
perpetrated the crime. So, yeah.
Where did that happen, Hope, if I might ask? What part of town?
It happened right around the block for me, Ed.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
All right.
I pretty much saw it unfold.
Okay.
Heard the shots and went looking out, and honestly, my husband, my daughter, they saw the officers laid out. I mean, it was really it was surreal. I felt like we were in South Central or something. I was like, this cannot be happening. My
I'm
neighbors
telling you.
and I, we were just like, is this for real?
For real.
But yeah, we were prayerful, and the first responders, EMS, I mean, everybody was on point, taking care of the slain officers and just looking for the perpetrators. So
Very good.
It was quite interesting to see everybody in action and doing what it is they're trying to do.
Hope,
Protect us.
congratulations to you on the Lady of the Year Award and Woman of the Year Award with NAACP. I will be seeing you, and thanks for calling in. We appreciate you.
All right, and thank you, ladies, so much.
Thanks, Hope.
Thank you.
Thanks. Take care. All right, we're going to have to get out of here. Holly Anderson's been with us. Laura Button's been with us. Francie Hunt was good enough to call in. Hope and Jeff and all the rest. Thank you all very much for doing
Thank
this.
you.
We appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Ed.
And until next Sunday night at 8 o'clock, Ed Raymer for the Evan Lee Raymer Show, and I'll catch you down the road. See you then.